Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I thought I saw Arlene out there. Hold on. I have to get to my channel. This is Meri at the Meri Atelier. And today is Saturday, November 26th. Good morning. Let's do some art. We are going to do the fourth Art Saturday video hop. Oh, I'm not live. I don't see my... Am I live? Am I alive? I'm looking for my video. There I am. Okay. One is watching out there, and I think that's Arlene. Oh no, Mina's here. Arlene is here. She says, good morning, Meri. Mina's popped in. Hi, Mina. Hi, Kimberly. Good morning, ladies, all you early birds. I'm awake. I am awake. Let me skip the ad. So the theme today is science. Science. What do you think folks are going to come up with science? That could be a stumper, but actually, if you Google science and art, you find a lot of really interesting things out there. So we have 9 people that are going to hop with us this morning, and their videos will go live at 5:30 Central Time. So in about an hour, their videos will go live. I would put them in the description box, but since they're not published yet, you would just get dead links. I'm going to start out with Tanya McGuire. We haven't seen much of Tanya lately. Well, she does videos and publishes them, but she's been on vacation. So I think she's home now, so maybe we'll be seeing more of her. APG Jamie, then maryannes, the Canadian artisan, Carol McDonald, Sylvia D, Shannon Pratt, which is Art Junkie, Janet Nash, and then myself. I have no idea. I don't review the videos or anything. I put my trust fully, and I'm never disappointed in the hoppers to do what they want, to come up with things for the theme, and they never disappoint me. Never disappoint me. It's always such a fun hop. I will say, when you hop through the videos, like, comment, share, subscribe. These folks give a part of their day, a part of their time. You know, they could be off doing a lot of other things. And also, if you're hopping through and something goes screwy with the links, or somebody put in their didn't put in their links or something like that, just go to the next person. Just go to the next person. Okay. So 4:30 in the morning, here we are. I see Crafty Mamas just came on. That's interesting. So Shelley at Crafty Mamas is up early, doing a live stream up early on a Saturday morning. So science. I chose, I'm going to, how could I not choose vision science? Vision science. I'm going to have cataract surgery on Monday morning, Monday afternoon, really. Well, Monday at noon. Let me go to my Gmail here. And I want to talk about eyes. I'm going to draw some eyes. I've been drawing in this big book that got Kelly on my mind. This big book that Renee at Little Red Wagon sent me. I've been sketching, and you see I've been playing with eyes. The science of eyes, you know, we're gifted a set of eyes at birth. Most of us are gifted with a good set of eyes. And when you read, I've been reading up about how we see. It is so very interesting how our bodies, our eyes are made to receive light, and all these little cells in there that form our, what is it, the retina, the cornea, the pupil, the iris, and the lens. They all work together to help us receive all this information, all this visual information that's coming in at us. We have these little cells in there called rods and cones, and they're called photoreceptors, and they receive all this information and they translate it and into little electrical, I guess you can call them electrical, that's a Meri term, all these little bits of information that they send through an optic nerve to our brain. How that works is just, it amazes me, you know. And we're given this at birth, our eyes. Well, we're given everything else, but we get all this. Is like getting 2 cameras at birth. But the science of the science of your eyes is called vision science. And you know, we have our optometrists and our ophthalmologists and all these people down the line that study all this. It just, and we are so fortunate in our day and age. And you know, just think how it's going to be 100 years from now. We are so fortunate to have doctors that when we get cloudy lenses and everything, who can go in there and fix it for us, clean all that up and give us new lenses in our eyes. And it amazes me when I stop and think how something artificial can be put in your body, an artificial lens, and it can communicate with your body to send all those impulses to your brain. Just amazes me. There's one video that I want to share with you. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I was listening to it last night, and it's from what is called Scripps Research, and it's called The Science of an Eye-Opening, The Science of Sight, an Eye-Opening Presentation of the Neuroscience of Vision. And of course, we as human beings, but also as human beings who love the visual arts, how much goes on so that we can draw and paint and even do our art every day. It's just totally, I'm just totally in awe of it. I'm going to share this link, make sure that I have it right here. Yeah, it's Scripps Research, and let me go to their channel here and to their about. They are an institution that's known for its impact and innovation. They expand basic knowledge in the biosciences and use the fundamental advancement to develop profound innovations that improve our well-being. So, I mean, I'm just reading off of their about there. And this video, I started watching that video, and it is so interesting. It is just so interesting because they explain how these little cells receive that information in our eyes and translate it to our brain so that we can see and draw. Isn't that, I mean, and of course see where we are and everything else. It's how we receive information from, visual information from the world around us. Just totally amazes me. So I'm going to be done with talking about that. What I thought I would do is sketch some eyes. And yeah, you know, I'm not going to do anything profound, but while we're kind of talking and visiting, let me go here to my eyes. And of course, I'm just going to draw in this big book. And now I'm getting back out to my chat here so I can see what you guys are saying. It's taking me a minute. There we go. Arlene says she's playing with paint and inks and adhesives, etc. It's kind of is science, yeah. Kimberly says, very fun lineup. Yes, it is, Kimberly. There's all saying good morning out there. I'm kind of looking at chat. Mitzi's here. Good morning, Mitzi. Kimberly says, I just put my glaucoma drops in. Mary's making me feel guilty to my eyes. I sympathize, Kimberly, because I don't have never really used eye drops or anything. And I'm going to have to, starting today, 4 times a day, I'm going to have to put in eye drops. And I kind of dread it in a way. But it's got to be done. So my heart goes out to you on your glaucoma drops. All right, I think I'm caught up with chat. Let me open my browser to an eye. And I'm just going to draw eye. You know who's really good with sketching and drawing eyes? And that is Paint Girly Laurie. Paint Girly. So I thought I would draw an eye and then work some quotes in there. And I'm just going to make it kind of a large eye. I'm not going to draw a face. I'm just going to draw the eye. I am looking on Unsplash, and I just typed in the word eye, and I'm looking at a photograph by Amanda, and it's a foreign word to me. Dowd. It looks like it might be Swedish or yeah, Dutch. Could be German. Dalbjorn is the person whose photograph I'm sketching off of. Kind of give them some credit. And of course, I'm just going to sketch here at first. And I'm sketching kind of large here. I'll bring this down a little and around. So, the science of vision. The science of vision. And I'm sure that just what I read, it amazes me, but I'm sure there's so much more to it than what I'm seeing. So we've got, and then we've got the little, and then there's all the muscles. There's all the muscles that surround the eye. What tells us to blink? You know, what is that impulse, and how the brain sends back information to this part of the, to the eyelid up here, how it sends information to say blink, blink, and how we can control that to open and close our eyes. You know, because we can tell our brain, close your eyes. We can tell our brain, open your eyes, it's time to wake up. And you know, it's just, I have to say, I think that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are fearfully and wonderfully made when you stop and think about all that goes on, and we walk around with it every day for our entire life. And I say, I don't think that we think about it that much. And the eye I'm looking at is the eye of a woman. And of course, our eyeballs are spherical in nature. So we got all this, and there's a name, scientific name, that I probably, even if I tried to say it, would be incorrect. Let's see, this eyeball does not come clear down to the bottom of the eye. It comes more like that. And then there's this little edge out here. So let's see. I copied down some notes here to share with you. See if I shared them all. Oh, and okay, thinking about eyes, a human eyes. This is just the human eyes. Think about animals. Think about birds and squirrels and your cats and your dogs. I haven't read a whole lot about their eyesight, but I know when I was watching this video, the man in the video was saying that in their labs they use mice, and the way a mouse receives information, what if I understood him right, is very similar to how a human receives information. So they run all their tests and everything, their lab tests, and it's not all cruel, like he was telling about how they were studying how a mouse, I think, could find an opening, or could see an opening under different situations, and it wasn't harming the mouse at all. You know, it was kind of interesting. They were studying how a mouse received information, and I think they were studying how he found an opening or something. I have to go back and listen to it. But you know, animals like well, I'm thinking hawks and eagles, you know, their eyesight is so much different than ours because they have what do they call that? The vision to see long distances and zero in on their prey. And then now I haven't read this recently, but a few weeks ago when we were doing so many owls, an owl does not move its eyes to up in its head. When it wants to see, it turns its entire head. So it doesn't have much peripheral vision. And that's why, you know, we see the owls almost turning their heads. Well, we don't see, we read about them. So there's the eyesight of animals, which is interesting enough that not only in humans, but in all the living beings around us. light energy enters the eye through the cornea, through the pupil. And the pupil, let me go back to my sketch because I need to see. The pupil is the black part of the eye, or the center part that we sketch so much in our eye here. So light energy enters the eye through the cornea, through the pupil, and then through the lens. And the lens is what we're concerned about with cataract surgery. It gets all this buildup of proteins and really eye gunk on it. And that's what clouds up our lens in our eyes. And that's what they remove when they do cataract surgery. The lens shape is changed for near focus accommodation and is controlled by the, here's a muscle, CIL, ciliary muscle. Photons of light falling on light-sensitive cells in the retina, the photoreceptors of cones and rods, are converted into electrical signals that are transmitted to the brain by the optic nerve and interpreted as sight and vision. That just amazes me how they came up with all of this. You know, it totally amazes me. All right, so we're going to, and that's my little study on eyesight. But how precious it is to have eyesight. How precious. And then you get into all the quotes and everything about eyes. I was reading all the quotes. Let's go read some quotes about eyes. Let me get there. Well, one quote that's very, very familiar to us is, eyes are the window to the soul. Eyes are the window to the soul. Now, that is not from the Bible. And here, a lot of us have, well, a lot of people, I think me included, think that quote came from the Bible. But that is not a direct quote from the Bible. They really don't know. They cannot pinpoint where that quote come from. I've seen it online attributed to Shakespeare. But also, if you read about that, there are other sources where that quote has come from. Eyes are the window to the soul. And I was reading about that because I was going, what it means is we look into a person's eyes to kind of discern what that person is thinking, their character, how well, and a lot of that is other information that we receive from them, but we can't receive all that information. Generally, we receive it through vision. We can receive it other way, you know, and we say we have this sixth sense. We interpret how another person is a lot through eyesight. We look at them. We look into their eyes. Let me read a few eye quotes here. Theodore Roosevelt said, "Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground." Oh, yeah. Let me read a few more. The face is the mirror of the mind, and the eyes, without speaking, confess the secrets of the heart. St. Jerome. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking would be the eye part in it, new landscapes, but in having new eyes. So seeing things in a new way. So we kind of interpret and receive interpretations of eyesight having new eyes doesn't mean physically getting new eyes into our body. It means seeing things in new ways. And so the eyesight in this case is kind of interpreted by how you think about things rather than how you visually see them. That's kind of interesting. Audrey Hepburn said, for beautiful eyes, look for the good in others. And then there's other parts of that quote too. For beautiful lips, speak only words of kindness. For poise, walk with the knowledge that you are never alone. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Mark Twain. I love that quote. You cannot depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. And I was thinking about that. How does our imagination get out of focus? You know, I guess that's more blurry thinking. Maybe we just give up on imagining things. We don't. And you know who I thought of when I read that? I thought of Dee Dee and her October, Inktober, her Seatober, how she drew beautiful, I think it was sea creatures this year, but she added an imaginative element to each one of her drawings. How cool was that? Dee Dee's eyes are in focus, and her drawings are in perspective. You cannot depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Music should strike fire from the heart of men and bring tears from the eyes of women. Okay, there are tears. Tears. And I'm not even going to talk about tears too much because I don't want to mislead with information that I haven't really read too much about. But we do know that, tears we have, when we're hurt emotionally, we cry. And also tears are produced to cleanse the eye too. When you get something in your eye, the tears help wash it away generally. Let's see, let me read some more quotes. Let my soul smile through my heart, and my heart smile through my eyes, that I may scatter rich smiles in sad hearts. And I cannot even pronounce the name of that person. It looks like it may be Indian, not American Indian, Indian from India or Pakistan or some language like that. We live in a wonderful world that is full of beauty, charm, and adventure. There is no end to the adventures that we can have if we only seek them with our eyes open. And another name I cannot pronounce. Jawaharlal Nehru, something like that. Obstacles are those frightful things that you see when you take your eyes off your goal. So here again, we're interpreting eyesight as something inner, an inner goal, and we lose focus on that goal. And it's not that we're not physically seeing something, we're not mentally seeing our goal, and that's when we find all our obstacles, is what this quote is saying. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. Albert Einstein. What does love look like? It has the hands to help others. It has the feet to hasten to the poor and needy. It has eyes to see misery and want. Sometimes we close our eyes, we close our minds to the misery around us. it's our way of, sometimes it's our way of I can't watch this anymore. You know? I love reading quotes. I might put some quotes on here. Let me go back to chat here. I'm focused on reading quotes. Let me look at who's come in here. Mina's here. Arlene is here. Is my chat stuck? Lala, good morning, Lala. Good morning, good morning. And there's Roy Bootsie. Don't forget Mama's warning about having eyes in her back of her head. Yeah, that's funny. I saw that. Mama says, you can't fool me. Good morning, Roy. I think it's Dee Dee's video with all of her Inktober drawings. Oh, thank you, Arlene. Arlene dropped a link to Didio's. You can tell it's early in the morning for me. I combine Dee Dee and video and come up with Didio's. Dee Dee's video, a link about her flip of her Inktober drawings, where she adds that imaginative element to her sketches. Kimberly says, Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of tears. Oh, Jackson Brown. That's a cool quote, Kimberly. Lala says, good morning. Let's see. Remember to ring the bell. Oh, thank you, Lala. Thank you guys for all the thumbs up and the comments and participating in chat. That really does help our channels. And when you are free at your leisure to hop through the links, they're set up in such a way that they rotate as you go from one person to another. So everybody in the hop gets a fair chance at being seen. And it starts out with Tanya. And then after Tanya is done, then she'll go to the next one and that'll pop up and Tanya will come down to the bottom. And it keeps rotating like that. And you'll know that you are done with the hop after you watched all the videos and you come back to my live stream. My live stream hop that I'm doing now is at the very bottom. So by the time you cycle through all of them and you're back up to me, you've seen all the videos. And like, comment, share, subscribe, because that really helps out, folks. Let's see, did I catch everybody who came in? Sophia, good morning, Sophia. Welcome, welcome. Done and done, Janet, thankfully. Thank you. Janet Nash, good morning, Janet. Janet, have you been having a good time with Ben? Good holiday with Ben? Let's see, Lala says, Meri, Fibdiggity families and friends, I'm sorry I'm late. I lost track of time and I want to say, oh, okay. Sophia might only be able to stay 5 minutes, Sophia says, maybe an hour. I'm waiting for HRH to descend upon us. Dad is visiting. Oh, gonna have some company today, Sophia. Well, thanks for popping in. Aren't those interesting quotes, Janet? Let's see, Sylvia D. Good morning, Sylvia, out there. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. Janet Nash. Kimberly says, good morning, Janet. I love that emoji. I love your video yesterday. I enjoyed listening and playing in my room. I have to leave you a comment. Yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, because we've got 9 hoppers, and that's a really nice sized hop. We've got 9 of you in the hop, and it's just a way to thank them. Mitzi says, I never knew that was possible, Kimmy Kim. What did Kimberly says? Kimberly says, I have green eyes, and my doctor wanted me on some glaucoma drops that would turn them brown. I said no, and he put me on another kind, amazing, that wouldn't change the color. Wow, how interesting is that? There was something in that medicine that turns your eyes brown, something, I want to say chemical, some makeup in that medicine that affected the how. And here's another thing, and I'm not even going to go into it, the science of color. The science of color, that and how light interprets the objects around us to produce different colors. And then we receive all that information from light into our eyes. It's really interesting to read about why red is red, why blue is blue, why gold is gold, you know, and we receive all that information, but that information has to be out there to receive. And that's a whole nother study. It has to do with the structure of the object, and it also has to do with the makeup of the object, how the different, I want to say, cells and atoms, and how all that is combined in the object, and how it receives light that is passed on to us, and then our eyes interpret all that. Just amazes me. And you know what amazes me more? We get this at birth for a lifetime. Most of us do. And then it amazes me that there's this whole study that's gone on for years and years and years about eyesight, and how we're gifted with doctors and nurses and scientists who study all this information to help us improve how we see things and how we can see in our own lives. It just totally amazes me. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Our entire, and that's just our eyes. Think about our other body systems, our other, like our nervous system and our auditory, our ears, and our ambulatory system. I would say ambulatory. I don't know if that's the correct term for it, but we receive all of this as a human being when we're born, and it's really amazing, living creatures, and we're human beings. Think about the animals, and they have similar but probably different. I'm not even going to talk about it because I'm not an expert in it. But it's an amazing, amazing thing. And we take it for granted mostly. We wake up in the morning, we open our eyes. We can close our eyes at will. We take all this stuff for granted because we've had it all of our life. If we start losing it, like our cataract surgery, which in my case, when you start losing the ability to focus like you're used to focusing every day, you think about it a little bit more. Let's see. Let me finish my sketch because it's 5:09. I want to put a quote on it, but let me finish here. I'm going to get my brush out and a little bit of water. Let's just get a brush here. I'm going to use that one and this one. And I'm going to use a little bit of water here. And this drawing this morning is not meant to be a beautiful piece of art. I was just kind of drawing about it when I was talking. I got to get a towel here. I dripped some of my water this morning. I used this towel to wipe it up. And let's put some shading in here. Just very, very interesting. The study of eyes, the science, vision science. And we as in our normal daily activities, unless you do have glaucoma or some vision, we don't think about it too much. We just kind of take it all for granted. Now let me kind of fade this out a little in here, and then I'm going to come back in with my pen and define this a little bit more and put some and this person, if you could see it in color, has little gold flecks around the pupil of the eye. All right, let's get a quote on there because I like that Mark Twain quote. Let me go back up to that Mark Twain quote. You cannot oh, it's can't. I put cannot. Depend on your eyes. It's just, the study of eyes is just such an interesting topic. Science, art and science. And that's just one way that art, think of all the medical illustration that goes on. It's how they interpret information on a page visually, medical illustration, like even of an eye, a diagram of an eye. Let me finish this. You cannot depend on your eyes. I'm not going to get this all in here. When your imagination is out of focus. EMAGIN A T I O N is trying to get this all on here. Out trying to do this fairly fast of focus. Oops, that's a sorry looking F. But there it is. It's going to make it larger here. So just to be able to do a simple page like this, and all this time, my brain is telling my hand how to move. My eye is interpreting all of this information, not only coming in by looking at the picture and interpreting all of that, telling my eyes, all receiving all this information from the photograph, telling my eyes what I see, or quotes, what I think I see, but maybe not what is really there. How interesting is that? And then we take all that information in our brain and send it back out through our hands and our fingers, and to train our hands how to draw it on the paper. Just totally, I'm just going to fast fill this in. Totally amazing. And I'm doing this kind of fast because I want to kind of get this done. Put in some scribble marks. The videos go live at 5:30. There is a playlist out there. It should be at the top of my playlist library. I need to get in there and clean up those playlists. So there's a lot that I need to do on my channel. I'm busy doing my art. When your eyes, I'm just getting some marks here on the page. I'm going to go over this with my brush. And you know what it would be interesting to do is leave this part. Let's go back in with some water here. Now, I could spend hours on this page, but you get the idea. The amazing vision science, the study of our eyes. And that's just the human eyes. It makes me appreciate my eye doctor a little bit more. Maybe I'll tell him that. I'll say, I've been reading up on vision science. You know, and then the doctor I'm going to has practiced for 30 years. Think of all that knowledge. I was just thinking, man, they should have us take a course on eyesight when we study art. Probably take some of our artists and turn them into eye doctors at the college level. I never even thought. You just take so much of this for granted. Let me go back out to chat while I'm doing this, because it's what? It's 20 after. I need to watch my time. What happens for me after I sign off, I wait for 5:30 to come. I wait for 5:30 to come. Let's take this larger brush. And then I immediately go through the linked list. And now this, I'm just going to kind of out of focus here. I'm just going to kind of blur it out. So this is meant to be out of focus in here. And it is kind of blurred out. My interpretation of how I interpreted that quote. And that was by, let me put Mark Twain. Mark Twain said that. And I'm going to sign this up here. And date it 11/26/2020. 2022, and I'm going to put hashtag fourth art scribble it on here because I don't have a lot of time to really develop it. This could be developed into a poster. Fourth Art Saturday. Let's put a capital S. So hop through all the links. Enjoy the hop. It'll be interesting to see what everybody does. I always am amazed about what people come up with at the most challenging topics like science and art. And this will be in my big book, and I'll open this up and I'll look at it and I'll say, Fourth Art Saturday. Let's see, I wanted to stick with this brush. Hashtag fourth. This is kind of how to focus itself. Art. I like working with these pens that are water soluble, where the ink is water soluble. Journaling with them might be a little bit of a challenge when you don't want your journaling, your writing to be all smeared, but I'll tell you, they are really great to sketch and draw with to get tonal values. There we go. Fourth Art Saturday. You cannot depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Very fun. All right, let me come out. It's 5:22. Let's say good morning to those folks who come in and goodbye to those of you who have been here. Thank you guys for getting up early in the morning and coming in and chatting with me. We are all praying for your surgery goes smoothly. Thank you, Kimberly. I'm a little bit uptight about it, I admit. I've never had surgery before, and and I think about my eyes. They're given to you at birth. You only get one pair. You only get one pair. You all know that. You guys have been with me and sending me encouraging thoughts and everything the whole time, but thank you, everybody. I've got to go put my eye drops in, so have a great Saturday. Enjoy the hop. And have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Bye.